Good morning. This is Mike from Sports Talk with the Fan. Now, I had a whole other video that was like 14 minutes long. Did it on my computer, had my fan on. All I heard was just the wind noise in the background. But anyway, cutting to the chase. Again, I want to thank you guys again for subscribing and watching the channel. I know we haven't been really posting, and not even haven't been really, we haven't been posting. I know it's been kind of hectic for us to kind of get together and formulate a schedule that's consistent with all of us, and that we can sit down and talk. But I'm gonna continue to try to at least throw videos like this and tell my cousins and them to do the same, and it's uploaded just to keep content coming. I want to talk about two quick things. I'm talking about the NFL draft, and I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe. I'm gonna start with the NFL draft now, and it's kind of correlated because Shannon Sharpe used to play football, Hall of Famer, whatever. But I was really disappointed yesterday. I'm a Shador Sanders fan. I'm a Sanders family fan. I like Deion Sanders when he used to play in the NFL, baseball. Growing up as a kid. I really started to pick back up with them when he became the head coach of the Colorado and Jackson State, but but Colorado. I really started watching more recently because obviously they had more televised games, and respect what he does with his family and respect the kids and stuff like that. And I'm a Giants fan. I don't know, maybe not after this, but I'm a Giants fan, and I know we acquired two quarterbacks this season. We had Russell Wilson, what I mean, and we had Jameis Winston. So I was like, maybe, that's kind of two, relatively decent quarterbacks. As far as like Russell Wilson, he's a champion, he's a Super Bowl champion, and he, when he was on, he was on. Jameis Winston has flashes of, doing his thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, they might still try to get another quarterback at Shador. But for the fact to see the numbers that Shador put up in college, how he played in college, the winning attitude he has, the accuracy, the yardage that he threw for everything. And for him, I get it. He didn't go top one. That he initially was projected to go in the top five. For him to not even get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft is ridiculous to me. The Giants traded up. So I was like, all right, maybe the Giants is going to get you. I'm getting hyped. I'm right before I'm going to bed. All right, they might get him. They traded up to get Jackson Carter. Now, I'm not knocking nobody. You know what I'm saying? I never watched him play in Ole Miss and nothing like that. I know they said they like Brian Dable, like big body guys, and he want to try to emulate what he did with Josh Allen. Even though they said his arm strength is not fully there, he is accurate. But even the commentators were saying like this kid is more like a third round draft, a draft prospect, the kid Jackson Carter, and for him to get drafted out of as a quarterback for the Giants or any other team for that matter before Shador, in my opinion, is mind-boggling. Now today's, I guess, the second round, and I hope he does get drafted by a decent team, Shador, and I hope that when he gets there, he dominates, man. I really do hope that he has like a Tom Brady-esque, even better career. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because we all know what it is, and I'm not going to try to dive too deep into that. And I know people like to say, oh, you can't be talking about that, but it's the fact that he's a confident young black man, and he's coming out there with that Sanders name, and how his father also was that way, right? They don't like that. So I think that whole situation is like a humbling experience. So, sometimes they like to do that. They're to try to humble an individual because they feel that they need to be humble. I feel that the way he approached the draft combine and everything like that, and the interviews didn't like that. Like there was one criticism of him wearing his hat backwards at one of the interviews, but the same quarterback that the Giants drafted did the same thing, and nobody said anything. And it's like, to me, it's a lot of nitpicking. We deal with this in life in general. You could be at your workplace, wherever. If people don't like you or they want to find something about you because you're too confident, you carry yourself in a decent way, you carry yourself, with your head held high, and and try to do the right thing, if you will. People want to always find something to say. They don't like the fact that the Sanders, they're flashy people. They like to talk about the opulence and the Jews and different things like that, but they don't know these people, outside of what they do for people and different things like that, the lives they might have touched and changed. They don't know any of that. They just see what they want to see. So it's unfortunate for him, but like I said, I do hope that he get drafted to a decent situation. I hope that he gets the time to shine, and I hope he dominates. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, legit. Like, I really do hope he does that, because I already know that him not getting drafted in the first round was not because of his talent. It's because of the people feel how they felt about his personality and how he is. Right? They want to kind of like, bring him down the peg, if you will. So that's that. I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe. Now, I haven't been fully following this Shannon Sharpe thing, but for what I heard and what I've seen, it's not looking good for Shannon Sharpe. Granted, he does have his upper club Shay and his YouTube channel. That stuff he can kind of like, still rock out. But with ESPN, I know he stepped down. But to me, I just want to say this now. He's a grown man. He do whatever you want. You work hard. You do what you got to do. But you have to understand, I have young guy friends and young female friends that I talk to sometimes, and they tell me how it is out in this dating sphere now. And right now, just even when you see on television, right now, everything's just a transactional thing. Nobody really genuinely cares about each other. Is what you can give me or what you could do for me. That's just what it is. There's no longer the actual like trying to get to know somebody and appreciating the companionship with that person and developing deeper a relationship with an individual, as opposed to the material, superficial, first layer relationships with people. And I feel that with him, going back to Shannon now, he's getting a lot of heat. And he's getting a lot of heat because of the fact that, one, how he sounded on them videos. Regardless if the girl is an OnlyFans model or not, and that's the kind of thing she does as far as like, that kind of like, role playing, and, Shannon's black, she's white, young lady, and talking about all the stuff they were talking about in them texts. It's crazy. He's still innocent, and they said it was consensual. She also admitted that it was consensual, but I think there's a lot of mistakes on the behalf of like him trying to get ahead of it, which caused him to break his confidentiality contract with them. Then the fact that he was trying to sell it with them in the past, and another woman came out, and these are the things I just don't like. And I'm not trying to say that these are not legitimate issues, and there are women out there who have been abused and stuff like that. I'm not knocking that or taking anything away from that. However, I don't like when one person is pursuing a person and trying to get a resolution, and then other people just piggyback off of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that, especially if it's not warranted, or just like people just want to just get in the limelight just to try to like tear them down. Like, oh, you had all this time to do it, but now because this one person is in the moment of doing it, now you want to come out to how to add fuel to the fire. I don't like the fact that a lot of these guys, especially these men, black men and stuff like that, are out here, being ignorant when it comes to like women and different things like that. And that goes for both white women, black women, whatever. You got these young athletes getting with these older women, just having these kids and don't care about the kid, and then getting finesse out of their money and then ruining their career and stuff like that, and not understand. A lot of these guys don't understand. These women find you attractive not necessarily because of your personality or your looks, right? Now, I'm not knocking Shannon. Shannon's in good shape for his age. I don't know how his personality outside of what I see on YouTube. But to think you can pull, at the time she was 19, from the gym, and then you develop this relationship to be with her because of the merit of your game or who you are, no. Once she started to see, oh, he picked me up in his car, he told me to come to his mansion, he got this money, he got this. Now you become more attractive, and for you to work so hard to develop your career and do that, and then to give it all away for some, is ridiculous, in my opinion. And a lot of these guys don't understand that, to me. And I feel that I'm not going to allow anybody, and that goes for women too, I think y'all should take that, to steal or to take what I earned and what I worked hard for to help people in my family and myself, off of the fact that, one, we don't get along anymore, now you mad at me, so now you want to like throw me under the bus, or two, because you just only came in there to try to get access to take that in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not making an excuse for him. It's all his fault, in the sense that you put yourself in this position to have this happen, and now you have to deal with this. But he also is getting heat because he was one of the main guys criticizing like the Zions, criticizing, these other athletes, even his own counterpart, like, Chad Ochocinco, and making fun of like Donald Rollins about having a 23-year younger than him, baby moms and all that other stuff like that. And this cat out there messing with teenagers. How young we're talking? They're kind of like R. Kelly type joint. You get what I'm saying? It's like, and then the type of women. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing you get a good quality woman. You know what I'm saying? And y'all build, and sometimes things happen. I get it, but you out there getting OnlyFans models, these guys getting strippers, and like, like Instagram models, just because of the lust that they want to have, and that's to just be with that person for that momentary pleasure. And then those decisions can change the trajectory of your whole life and career. And y'all don't understand that when your career now, right, gets halted or ended because of these situations with these women or men, if you're dealing with them in that sense, right? Then all of that stuff you was chasing is gone anyway. You think if you're not you're an athlete and you can't get another contract because of your past crimes, if you will, with these situations, you think that them joints gonna still come around to you? No. Same thing with Shannon. You think that you're gonna get all these women and your Michelles and all that other stuff like that when you ain't got no bread no more? They don't. It's like they're not thinking, and that's the thing that bothers me. Is like, I'm not a pocket watcher. They worked hard. They did what they did. They were able to be blessed to get where they are, right? And if you're gonna put that much effort into doing that, protecting your assets, about having lawyers and investments and different things like that, but you're not protecting your assets and the things of relationships and the fleshly things, you know what I'm saying? Because you just want to get some. It doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, that's just a quick, like I said, I wanted to make a little quick video. I had a whole nother video, a lot of other topics and thoughts, but doing it more than once is tough. But again, I want to thank you guys again for watching and listening and subscribing. I'm going to say promise, but I'm not going to say promise. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do the podcast with my cousins and brothers and stuff like that, so we can try to get this at least to be more consistent and how it was at the beginning. Maybe I might do more videos like this, or have them do the same, send it to me, upload it, what have you. But yeah, again, I want to just thank you guys again. I know things are very difficult and getting tough in this world, and I do pray that we all kind of like, stay faithful and stay grounded. It is hard, but I'm gonna get a little preachy now, but there's a God in heaven that loves us and cares for us, you know what I'm saying, and give ourselves to Christ and live on that behalf and try our best to walk in that life. I think you start to get, you start to get that peace, even though you're going through these storms. You get that peace, you know what I'm saying, and try to navigate those things and keep your head held high. And also want to give a quick prayer to Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah Arenas. He was in a terrible car accident yesterday, the 24th. Had to be put in a medically induced coma, and I really do hope that he makes a full recovery, even if he can't play basketball anymore, for him to be able to have his life and for his family to have that peace of mind that he's okay and he's back. So praying for the best. I really do pray that he'd be able to live out his dream and make it to the league like his dad. But I really just pray first and foremost that, he makes a full recovery and that he's alive. So dear God, please watch over his family and all those that might be going through something. In Jesus' mighty and magnificent name, I pray. Amen. Have a blessed day.